Hey guys, good morning. Laura with Garden Answer. So this is part 2 of our garlic video. Part 1 talked about how to harvest and dry your garlic. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to cure and store your garlic, as well as maybe how to braid your garlic. Now, I don't know if this is going to actually work because the stalks of the garlic I saved might be a little bit too dry. So I'll try to show you. If it doesn't work, I might have some onions that I could show you on later in another video. So first of all, I wanted to do this video right as soon as I was done with the drying process, but you know how life happens and a million things happen. So the garlic has already been cured, but I'll talk to you about the process of what I do. So first off, I start with the harvest, of course, and then if there's a lot of soil that's still moist around the bulb, I like to leave my garlic bulbs outside for 1 to 2 days to let that soil dry off out of direct sunlight, and that way I know for sure I can clean off all of that soil and no extra moisture is getting in. And then I move them inside for the curing process, which I've already done. You can see right here, this is how I hang them in small bunches, somewhere like in a barn or a garage or a basement, somewhere where it's still fairly warm, where there's good ventilation. And basically the curing process is just to make sure that everything has dried down properly for storage, because you don't want them to have excess moisture because that can make them rot a lot faster. So these ones have already been in the garage for 2 weeks hanging, and they look really, really good. So that's it for curing. It's a super simple concept, really. For storing, what I'm going to do is clean off the bulbs. So for the curing process, I leave the roots and the stems attached because there is still some life in those things, and that garlic bulb will suck in that extra energy, which is good for them. So I wait till the end of the curing process to clean them, which I've already started to do. You can see right here, this is some of the chestnut. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm just so thrilled with this year's harvest, and the Italian looks amazing. So the Italian is the only softneck variety that I grew, and softneck typically has a longer shelf life, so maybe 6 months plus. The hardneck varieties, which form a scape, which you can see right here, they form a flower stalk. They typically don't store as long, maybe 3 to 4 months, so I'll be utilizing this garlic first before I move into my softneck variety. But the softneck variety is the type that you can braid. So I'm going to leave the stalks attached to this one right here. To clean the bulbs, all I'm going to do is take my pruners and just go right up to the, right up snug against the garlic bulb. I'm going to cut the roots off, just like that. I'll remove any big pieces of dirt, but you want to make sure to try not to remove any of the paper, like the wrapper around the clove. Then I use a dish brush because this one's really soft, and I just gently knock off any excess soil. Super easy. So let me finish cleaning up this softneck Italian garlic, and then I'll show you how I clean the hardneck variety. So I clean hardneck varieties of garlic a little bit differently. So like I said, hardneck varieties produce a flower stalk and a scape on top. So they are really not suitable for braiding because the stem is way too rigid. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these stalks off. And what I do is I just come up and cut them about 1 inch or 2 up from the bulb, like this, right here. And I just save back, what did I say, 4 of them here. And then I basically do the same thing. I'm going to cut the roots off and clean those. And for this type of garlic, I'm going to store it in a basket, just like this one. You just want to store it in something that's breathable. So a wire basket, a burlap sack, something like that, a mesh bag. That way airflow can get in there and they don't get, smothered. So let me clean these up really quick, and then we will talk about how to braid. So for the softneck garlic, you could store it the exact same way as the hardneck, just clipping off that stem and storing it in a bag or a basket, something like that, and it's really easy. But if you want to do something more decorative, you can definitely braid. Now that's something I like to do before the curing process. So right in between the drying process, after I've cleaned off all the excess dirt, and the curing process, because the leaves are so much more flexible. So I'm hoping that this is going to work out today. But before you do any of that, before you put any of this in storage, you want to make sure you remove any damaged heads of garlic. You don't want to store anything like that. You want to go ahead and use that in your kitchen right away. Okay, so now I'm going to clear everything off the table, and then we're going to attempt this braid. So I'm absolutely no authority on braiding garlic, but what I do is I like to get a nice little piece of jute twine, and I just lay it flat on my surface. And then I will start with 2 really nice looking pieces of garlic, and I'll lay them on top of that piece of twine and just crisscross them like that. And then I'll take a 3rd piece and lay it right in the center, and then I'm going to tie them all together, and this will be the start of my braid. And I like to tie them together. I know it's kind of cheating. I see the old school way of doing it, and there's a way you can flip the stem around, and like everything is self-contained, and I've tried it and I'm not good at that. So I'm going to clip the tails of the twine. For the next piece, I'm going to lay it to the right side of the bunch, and each new stem that you put in here, you're going to want to lay it on top of the center stem. Whichever stem is laying down the center, that's where you're going to be putting it. And then I'm going to take the undermost lying stem. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you can see this pretty good. I take the undermost lying stem and I just braid it over the top like this, and that becomes the new center, just like that. And then I'm going to take my next piece and I'll put it on the left side, and see how I just run that stem down the center again. Then I'll take this right hand stem, cross it over, and now that's the center. Then we do our next center piece like this, braid, and that's it, you guys. You keep going right, left, center until you get your braid to the length you want it, and then I'll show you how I end it. So I'm just going to keep braiding. Okay, so I've made it to the end of my braid. I'm not going to utilize these stalks because you can see that they've got like some weird bulbs coming out, and so that'd make it really hard to braid. So I'm going to just use these in my kitchen, set these aside. Now I'm going to continue braiding the stalks up a little ways. And then I like to bend them over on themselves like this to form a little loop, and that's where I can hang it from a nail or a hook, something like that. Then I'll take my jute twine, I'll tie a knot. Ooh! Gently. Try that again. I was tying it like I meant it. There we go. So essentially the garlic braid is done. I'm going to go ahead and cut a few more lengths of jute twine so I can make a nice little bow quick, because I think it makes it even cuter. Oh, I did that upside down. I'm going to twist the braid. I can't tie a bow upside down. So there's the braid. It looks so pretty. So you can just store it looking just like this and just clip off a head as you need to use it in your kitchen. So as far as storing goes, it's really simple. You just want to put it in a really cool, dark area that's well ventilated. And I don't think I mentioned that already, but like 50 to 55 degrees, maybe up to 60, somewhere where it just stays cooler. It slows down the decomposing process, so it will last a heck of a lot longer. And then what I'm going to do, like end of September, beginning of October, I'll come in and I'll select the biggest, most beautiful looking heads of garlic, and that's what I'll use as my seed garlic to replant. So you plant in fall, harvest, you know, midsummer sometime. So we'll link both of the garlic videos down below, how to plant it as well as how to harvest and dry it. So I hope that all of this information was helpful, and I hope it inspires you to plant garlic. It's such a fun crop to grow. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.